Alright guys, welcome back to another one of my videos, and today I'm really excited to talk about my top 12 games on the MetaQuest platform, either the Quest 2 or the Quest 3, because of course all these games work on both. And man, we had a hell of a year in VR. There is so many good games that came out this year. Obviously, this list doesn't represent all the other great games. I could have easily made a top 25, top 30 games on the MetaQuest on how good of a year we actually had and the cuts that I had to make on this list. There's games that I still play all the time that are not on this list because that's how good the year was. And, you know, we're doing a top 12, so some cuts have to be made. But if you guys are looking forward to getting a Quest on Christmas, whether it be a Quest 2 or a Quest 3, I hope this list helps you out on maybe some games to start with. I also have a bunch of lists that I did on the best games on the Quest 3 to start with and all that kinds of stuff, and a bunch of variety of specific genre lists out there for you guys as well, like best sports games, best music rhythm games, all that kind of stuff. So make sure you check out the channel and also subscribe for future videos, and let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie is the gaming tech, UrGamingTechie.
Alright, so the first one on this list coming in at number 12 is Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord. I've been having a really good time with this game in multiplayer, playing with other folks online, randoms, and kind of feeling like a Ghostbuster, where you get to obviously use your Proton Pack, and the Proton Pack feels great to use, and all the other different equipment on there to go ahead and capture these ghosts, and feeling like a true Ghostbuster. I know there's been a lot of flack for this game because there wasn't enough content at launch. It seems like they're going to keep adding content. We got 2 new game modes already, a third one arriving with a new Slimer ghost that we all know and love from the original movies coming in January, and even more stuff coming in March that they said and started teasing about, and costumes from the original Ghostbusters as well that are coming soon. So it seems like there's more content planned on here, and what is here so far is still super fun in my opinion to play with people, and I'm still playing it all the time in rotation. So Ghostbusters Rise of the Ghost Lord coming in at number 12. The next one here coming in at number 11 is the Light Brigade. The Light Brigade is a roguelike shooter, and it is probably my favorite roguelike shooter to come out in a while. I just love the combat in it. I love the shooting mechanics in it. I love the art style in the game that you guys are looking at here. I think it looks really nice and really good on the Quest. And the game, don't forget, for those of you guys who haven't finished the actual story campaign in this, the game really does open up even more, and there's more to do even after the campaign actually ends and when the story ends. So I would say the game actually opens up when the campaign is actually over. So make sure you guys, plow through the actual campaign, which I still think is super fun because there's even more that awaits you afterwards. There's a good amount of content in this game. They're still updating it every so often, and like I said, it's a roguelike shooter. I know we see that a lot, but I think this one really stands out with the graphic art style and just the story being told here, and the fun gameplay and gunplay that is here. So the Light Brigade coming in at number 11. The next one here coming in at number 10 is Breachers, and Breachers is obviously the shooter that is kind of like Rainbow Six in VR, and that's exactly what you get out of this game, where you can be on a team either taking the terrorists down in the building like you're used to with that cooperative mode, or obviously PvP as well, where you can play against another team. And obviously it's a very tactical game, which is what sets it apart from a lot of other shooters in VR, and I think they did a great job with this game, where everything you would want to do, like using C4s and stuff to blow up buildings, blow up the ceiling, and kind of go down, climb up buildings and go through the windows. All that stuff that you want to do is here in VR, and they're still obviously constantly updating this game with new maps and modes and stuff like that, and it is super fun. The gunplay is really tight, and it's a really, really fun, competitive, gameplay that you have with your teams that you're playing. And obviously communication is key, and I love social gameplay in VR, and this game definitely has that in spades, because you need communication in this game to be successful, and it's super fun to be able to use all the different gadgets in the game and all the different weapons that are in here as well. So Breachers comes in at my number 10. The next one here coming in at number 9 is Lego Bricktales. Lego Bricktales is the newest game. It might be the newest game on the list. They're actually really close. There is another one. But this is obviously a really good Lego game. If you guys are Lego fans, the fact that you can actually do this in mixed reality and kind of build a whole entire Lego set in front of you, and kind of, go through the progression of building it and then kind of see it coming to life right in front of you. This is awesome. I mean, you actually build and go through all these different areas and stuff like that, like you're seeing here, whether it's mixed reality or in VR. Who who doesn't want to play with Legos in VR? I mean, that seems like what VR was kind of made for. And luckily for us, this Lego game was done super well. There's a lot of variety and creativity in the actual levels that you're kind of building up and going through and playing through in this Lego game. If you guys have been waiting for a Lego game in VR, this is definitely one I recommend, and that is Lego Brick Tales, coming in at my number 9. The next one on this list, coming in at number 8, is Drop Dead the Cabin. This is, Call of Duty Zombies type mode in VR, but they did a fantastic job with this game, not even considering the actual game itself. They also did a graphical update for the Quest 3 that made the game look even better. I love, obviously, being in a house and kind of boarding everything up like Call of Duty Zombies, and, progressing and going through and killing all the zombies and trying to survive as long as possible with 3 of your friends, obviously cooperatively online. And the mixed reality mode that they added to this game really makes it stand out. It's one of my favorite mixed reality, if not my favorite mixed reality experience, especially to show to others, where zombies are actually coming through your actual windows and doors of your house, and you have to defend your home from the home invasion. Everything you could want in a game that's about, this Call of Duty Zombies and stuff like that is kind of brought into this game really, really well, and I love playing it. I mean, who doesn't want to, go in there with 3 of their other friends and just kind of go crazy on all these zombies and trying to last as long as possible, upgrading their weapons and all that kind of stuff that you're used to in this game. And they're still updating this game as well, so it's good to see, and I can't wait to see what comes to this game next, especially since they seem to be updating the mixed reality mode still as well. So, Drop Dead the Cabin, coming in at number 8. The next one here, coming in at number 7, is Dungeons of Eternity. This is one of the standout games of the year. So many people are having a lot of fun playing this game. It has been super popular, and I'm also having a blast with this game. This is another one that they've definitely updated for the Quest 3, and they're updating content all the time with this game. This is a dungeon crawl game where you basically go through with 3 of your other friends, and you can go in there and go through different dungeons. They're procedurally generated, so you never know what's going to happen even the next time you play through it. And obviously the whole goal is to keep going further into dungeons, upgrading your weapons, upgrading your gear to be able to go further and further. But the game is super well done. There's a lot of variety in the actual enemies that you fight in the actual dungeons, and that seems like the procedurally generated stuff, just keeps getting better and better with every update that they do, and it's a fantastic game. Like I said, people have been raving about it, with this game already, with all the bosses that you can take down, the mini bosses, the collectible loot and all that stuff that's in this game that makes this game, the genre that people love is getting that loot, getting the better loot, and getting those drops with your friends. Super, super fun. Dungeons of Eternity at number 7. The next one here, coming in at number 6, is Propagation Paradise Hotel. This is obviously a horror game, and this is probably my favorite horror game of the year, and it is done super, super well. I mean, who doesn't want to play a scary game in VR? And this horror game has everything you could want. Obviously you're exploring creepy corridors, you're solving some puzzles to get through and progress different areas and stuff like that. And the story that's being told here is really fun to kind of go through, and there's obviously some jump scares in the game. The game is really dark, so you'll definitely, feel the tension and stuff like that as you're playing through this game, and I'm having a blast with it. Like I said, it is a quote-unquote another horror game, but I think it's one of the better horror games. You can tell it's very super polished. The enemies are really fun. The combat is good. Doing the puzzles are good, and just exploring the whole entire area. It has a good amount of variety in the corridors that you're in, and it's definitely a very scary thing, which is obviously important in a horror game. So Propagation Paradise Hotel, coming in at number 6. The next one here, coming in at number 5, is Deo Battles. Deo Battles is obviously a sequel to the original Deo that people have known and loved. It was a D&D, dungeon crawl game where you're playing with 3 of your friends in a board game tabletop style, moving your figures around the board and trying to, eliminate all the enemies and using cards that you can get and upgrade and stuff like that throughout the game. And this game here is the PvP version. So the original was all about playing cooperatively with your friends, and this one is all about PvP, but not just PvP. The original took hours to sometimes play those campaigns, and this one is all about finishing it in like 10 minutes. You can literally get through, imagine 10 or 15 minutes and play, against your other friends and get the Deo type experience in that shortened time frame, and it actually works extremely well. All the variety that you saw from the original, all the different monsters and all the different variety in the enemies and the variety in the cards and all that stuff is all here just in a PvP form, and it's actually my favorite way of playing Deo now because I can get a lot more matches in, and I still get the kind of same feel that Deo gives me, being able to use those cards, being able to move my miniatures around the board, seeing the you know, the gameplay and stuff like that. It's fantastic, guys. Deo Battles coming in at number 5. The next one here, coming in at number 4, is definitely the newest one on my list, considering this only came out a couple weeks ago, even though I was playing it for like a month before that because I was in the early testing, so I already knew how great this game was. But Racket Club is such a good game. This is the epitome of one of those games that I go, just one more match, just one more match. This is a mix of like tennis and racquetball and stuff like that, where you're kind of playing it together, and you either play 1v1 or 2v2, and the whole goal is to hit the ball obviously back and forth on your side, and can only bounce once, and you can hit it off the walls, off the sides, obviously trying to beat your opponent, and you can either play solo. The multiplayer is fantastic. There's a social hub where a bunch of different people can meet in there and, you know, play on different courts and stuff, and you're all in there together talking. It's a great game, super addicting. It's just like 11 table tennis for me that I talk about all the time, where I'm always in that VR game and always want to play that game one time before I play my other games. This is the same thing. Racket Club at number 4. The next one here, coming in at number 3, is Arizona Sunshine 2, and I love the original Arizona Sunshine, and this sequel here is everything I could have wanted out of the game. It is a fantastic story to go through. The story is great. It has Buddy, of course. Can't forget about the dog companion that goes through with the game, and I think that was an excellent touch to the game. The narrative is really fun and interesting to go through. The graphics are really well done on the Oculus Quest platform, and it looks really good. And obviously, it's more about that zombie killing. You can use your dog to help you out throughout your adventure, and he helps you out a lot. And it's everything you could want, in my opinion, out of Arizona Sunshine sequel. It's more of everything: more weapons, more melee weapons that you can use, more gunplay. Bigger set pieces, the graphics are better, you know, the campaign is longer, there's a lot of variety in the actual locations that you're fighting in. It's just a fantastic sequel, in my opinion. It is quote-unquote more of the same, but that's exactly what I wanted out of this game, and it's super fun. And don't forget, you can play their whole entire story cooperatively with another person as well. Not many games let you play the whole entire story from beginning to end like this with a cooperative friend with you, and that makes the game even that much better if you can play with this with a friend, because then you could do a lot of shenanigans, because there's a lot of exploration to do in this game. Some people are just beelining it to the beginning to end and not exploring, and I think that's doing the game a disservice, because there's actually a lot to see in this game. A lot of collectibles to find, and a lot of cool things that kind of elevate the story and stuff like that when you find them, or just funny things to find laying around the map and stuff like that that really, you know, are just cool to find. That's why I would definitely urge everyone to explore while they're going through this game and take their time. Arizona Sunshine 2 coming in at number 3. The next one here, coming in at number 2, is Assassin's Creed Nexus VR, and man, this game really caught me by surprise. Obviously, we all know what Assassin's Creed is. It's obviously based on a really popular franchise, and when we first heard about it, you know, things went silent for a while. We weren't sure what was going on, and then it finally came out, and I honestly thought it wasn't going to be very good, because it looked like it was through development hell. We didn't hear a lot about it, and man, were we proven wrong. First of all, when I first got in here, I couldn't believe this game was on a Quest platform. I mean, as soon as you enter that open world area on the first part and you're like, wow, this looks like Assassin's Creed, I feel like I'm in the world, and I can't believe how many NPCs are literally everywhere in this game. And being able to take that knife out of your hand and use the hand blade and stuff is exactly what I wanted to do in VR, and they let you do it. Jumping off the top of a building and kind of knifing someone or sorting someone is fantastic. It's a lot of fun with the combat. The areas, even though it's not a fully open world game like Assassin's Creed usually are, it's different areas that are open world that you can tackle missions in different variety and different ways that you want to do it, and different side missions and that you can do in that area. There's so much variety in this game in the locales. There's 3 different protagonists that you're playing with, and it's just awesome. I think they did a fantastic job bringing Assassin's Creed into VR. I hope this is not the last Assassin's Creed we see in VR, because this was super well done. I really feel immersed in this world, and again, it's exactly what I wanted out of Assassin's Creed game. I can't really picture something else I could have wanted. And the game is pretty long as well. It's not something you're going to beat in like 2 hours or anything. It's a full, like, you know, 10 to 20 hour game, depending on how you play your games here. So you get a lot of content out of this game, and I'm having a blast with it. Assassin's Creed Nexus coming in at number 2. And the last one here, coming in at number 1, is probably not going to shock many people. It is Asgards Wrath 2. This is another one where I didn't know how good it was going to be, because the original came out on PC, and we were all like, oh, this is now going on a mobile platform. Is it going to be just as good? and I'm here to tell you that it is even better than the original. Yes, the graphics aren't exactly as good as the first one, but the graphics on here are spectacular for a Quest platform. It literally is really, really good looking. The graphic art style is fantastic. 60 to 100 hours of gameplay in this game. Is a full-on RPG, and as soon as this game started, obviously I haven't beaten this game yet, so I can't say exactly how the game ends or anything, but even just the hours that I've played so far, the 10 or so hours, it still deserves a spot on this list because that's how good those 10 hours have been. The graphics are bar none. You can tell this is AAA quality and put into a VR game. The story being told is interesting to follow. All the action, all the different side missions that I keep getting distracted by, the grandiose characters that you're fighting in the game, the godlike powers that you have. Everything from the sequel has kind of been, the original was blown up in this sequel, and it is fantastic. If you like the original or you want to see what a AAA studio can do when given the time and money on a Quest platform, this is it right here, the #1 game of 2023. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this list, and it gave you something to look forward to play on your Quest when you guys open them up for Christmas. And as always, guys, if you guys have any questions, leave them down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Till next time.